Hello, this is lesson 5.5. We're going to be talking about percent increases and decreases today. So let's get started. Okay, so here's our lesson. Myself here, finding the percent increase or decrease. The objectives or standards are I can find the percent increase or decrease from the original amount. I can use percent to increase or decrease to find a new amount. Standards are EE2. Understand that rewriting an expression in different forms in a problem context can shed light on the problem and how the quantities in it are related. And RP3, use proportional relationships to solve multi-step ratio and percent problems. Minimize myself. So finding the percent increase. Sometimes you are not finding the percent of a part or finding the percent of a whole. That's what we've been doing all along. We've been finding either the percent of a part, the percent of a whole, the missing part, or the missing whole. Sometimes you are finding how much a quantity increases in comparison to the original amount. It's a little bit different. So Amber got a raise and her hourly wage increased from $8 to $9.50. What was the percent of her raise? We've already talked about problems where you're given the amount of the raise and you have to find the percent, but not where we have to find the percent of the increase in her income. So we need to find the percent increase in her wage. So step one, find the increase by subtracting the smaller number from the larger number. So we have $9.50 minus, that's her new wage, $8 her old wage. Subtract the two, we get $1.50. That is the amount of the increase in her wage. Okay, how much of a percent is that increase is what we need to find out. So we have the $1.50 amount of the increase. So step two now is going to be set up a percent change proportion. So here is the formula. The amount of the change, which we just figured out to be $1.50 over the original amount. Go back up in the word problem. What's the original amount? Well, $8 was what she had before. And now she's got $9.50. So the original amount, the beginning amount was $8. And we set that equal to P over 100%, right? P is percent over 100. And what's the missing part or the missing piece? The missing piece is, what is the question asking us for? What was the percent? So we're looking for P. Okay, so then we just set up the proportion with the numbers we're given. So $1.50, that's the increase, that's the change over the original amount, $8 equals, amount of change over original amount equals P over 100. And then we cross multiply and divide. So there's your percent. So Amber's, cross multiply and divide. Okay, what happened? So here we're going to cross multiply. $1.50 times 100 divided by 8. That should come to, so remember on your calculator, I don't know if this is going to pop up or not. Let's see. Cross multiply and divide. It probably will now. Yeah, it will. So let's clear. My animations are out. So $1.50, 1.50 times 100 equals 150. Just move your decimal 2 to the right when you multiply by 100. Divided by 8 equals 18.75. That's where we get Amber's raise was 18.75% increase. Okay, you have to answer before you had how to do it, but that's okay. Okay, hopefully the next one is not set up that way, right? 18.75. Okay, let's go on. Let's try this one. This is another finding the percent increase. So the price of a pair of shoes increases from $52 to $64. What is the percent increase to the nearest percent? So we need to find the percent increase in the shoes price. So step 1, find the increase by subtracting the smaller number from the larger number. 64, new price, minus 52, old price, equals $12. That's the increase. That's the amount of the increase in the price. So $12, here it is, increase in price. Step 2, set up a percent change proportion. Amount of change over original amount is equal to P over 100. So 12 is the change. Original amount was $52. That was the original price of the shoes. And we're missing P, the percent. Okay, let's see how the next slide does it. Hopefully it's in the right order. Nope, it's not. That's okay. So when we set it up, we cross multiply. So cross multiply and divide 12 times 100, which you should be able to do in your head. It's just moving the decimal 2 to the right. So 1200. So 12 times 100 equals 1200 divided by 52 equals 23.08. And there it is. The percent increase in the shoe price was about 23%, a little over, right? 23.08% to be exact. Okay, now it's your turn to try a percent increase question. Pause the video and come back. Welcome back. Hopefully you did those questions first, and now you're ready to continue. Okay, finding the percent decrease. Good news, it's just like finding the increase, except this time we're finding the decrease percent. Sometimes you're not finding the percent of a part or the percent of a whole, or the part or the whole, you're finding the percent of the decrease. So we want to find how much a quantity decreases in comparison to the original amount. So David moved from a house that is 89 miles away from his workplace to a house that is 51 miles away from his workplace. What is the percent decrease in the distance from his home to his workplace? So we need to find the percent decrease in miles. Step 1, find the decrease just like we did in the increase by subtracting the smaller number from the larger number. So 89 is the new or the old miles to 51, which is the new miles. And we subtract that and get the difference of 38, which is the amount of the decrease. He lives closer now to his workplace. So 38 is the amount of the decrease. What's our equation? It's going to be the amount of change over the original amount equals percent over 100. Well, we know what the amount of change is. It's 38, right? And we know what the original amount is. It's 89. Be careful. Make sure you pick the original amount. He used to be 89 miles away. Now he's only 51. And then that equals P over 100. Now is where we cross multiply and divide, and my slides will probably show the answer before it shows how to do it. Let's see what happens. Yep, it did. Okay, so we cross multiply and divide. 38 times 100, what is that? 3,800, right? So 38 times 100 equals 3,800 divided by 89 equals 42.69. David decreased his mileage distance to work by about 43%. I rounded 42.69 up to 43%. Okay, let's try another one. Finding the percent decrease. The regular price of a scooter is $65.50. It is on sale for $52.50. What is the percent decrease from the regular price to the sale price of the scooter? Okay, we need to find the percent decrease in price. Step 1, find the decrease by subtracting the smaller number from the larger number. $65.50 is the regular price. $52.40 is the sales price. Subtract the 2 and you get $13.10, which is your decrease. Okay, that's what we're going to use in our formula. $13.10 is going to be put into the formula. Amount of change over original amount is equal to percent over 100. So $13.10 is the amount of change. What's the original amount? Be careful on that. Pick the original amount. $65.10. That's before it went on sale, right? Equals P for percent over 100. And now my next slide is going to probably show the answer again. There it is. So how do we do it? We cross multiply and divide. 1310 times 100, move the decimal 2 to the right, should be 1310, right? If you move the decimal 2 to the right, that shouldn't say 38, it should say $13.10. I got to change it. Cross that off. $13.10 times 100 equals, better show the right number here, 1310, it does. Divided by 65.10 equals $20 or 20.12%. So that's about 20%. So the price decreased about 20%. Okay. Clear my drawings. Okay, it's your turn to try some percent decrease problems. See you back in a moment. Okay, welcome back. Let's using the percent of change to find a new amount. Okay, this time we already will know the percent. What we won't know is the new amount. So that's what we're going to be looking for. So the grizzly bear population in Yellowstone National Park in 1970 was about 270 grizzly bears. Over the next 35 years, it increased by about 115%. What was the population in 2005? The question is asking for the new bear population after the percent increase. Okay, find the increase or decrease by multiplying the current amount by the percent increase or decrease. See how that works with numbers. 270 times 1.15. Where on earth did I get 1.15? Well, I got it from 115%. Remember, to change a percent to a decimal, you move it 2 to the left. So it started at the end and we went 1, 2. That's where I get 1.15. Okay, so then I multiply 270 times 1.15, the number of bears to begin with. The percent increase as a decimal. Don't multiply it by 115, you'll be way off. And then my answer is 310.5. That's the amount of the increase. So 310 and a half bears. I don't know how you get half a bear, but. Next step, find the new amount by adding or subtracting the increase or decrease from the current amount. 270 is what we started with in 1970. We're adding 311, so it was 310.5. So I rounded up to 311 because we don't have half a bear. And we add, and we get 581 as the new bear population in 2005. Okay, so there's the new amount of bears. In 2005, the bear population was now 581 bears. Okay, let's try another one. A shoe sales associate earned $300 in August. In September, she earned 8% more than she did in August. Always good to earn more. How much did she earn in September? This is a percent increase type problem, right? The question is asking for the sales associate's new earnings for September. Step 1, find the increase or decrease by multiplying the current amount by the percent increase or decrease. Current amount, $300 times 0.08. Where did I get that? Well, I got that from the 8% up here. And I changed it to a decimal by moving my decimal 2 places to the left. And then multiplying the two numbers together, I get 24. She had an increase of $24. August earnings, percent increase as a decimal, amount of the increase. Next step, find the new amount by adding or subtracting the increase or decrease from the current amount. $300 is what she made in August. She increased her income in September to $24 more. Add it up. She now makes $324 in September. Okay. In September, the sales associate earned $324. Okay, you get to try some of these problems. I'll see you back in a moment. Okay, welcome back. Let's focus on some higher order thinking. Leroy and Sylvia both put $100 in a savings account. Leroy decides he will put in an additional $10 each week. Sylvia, however, she's going to decide to put in an additional 10% each week. Who has more money after the first deposit? Let's take a look. So we have Leroy and Sylvia. Leroy and Sylvia both put in $100. Let's do Leroy first. He's going to put in $10 for the first year. At the end of the first year, he's going to have $110. No, each week. He'll have $110 at the end of the week. Sylvia is going to put in the same $100. Where's her $100? This is figuring out how much she's putting in. So she puts in $100, and then she does 0.10 times 100, because that's what 10% is as a decimal. So she gets 10 additional dollars she's putting in the first week. So she has $110 as well. So after the first additional deposit, they have the same amount. Okay. However, let's take a look what happens after the second week. Okay. At the beginning of the second week, Leroy now has $110. He's going to put in his $10 again. At the end of the week, he'll have $120. Sylvia, however, is putting in 10% of her balance. So 10% is 110 is her beginning balance times 0.10, the percent, equals $11. So Sylvia starts with 110 like Leroy, but she puts in $11 because she's putting in 10%, not $10. You add it up and she has $121. So at the second additional deposit, Sylvia will have $1 more. Now, if you were to keep going with this, you will notice that pretty soon Sylvia is going to have more every time than Leroy. Okay, suppose an amount increases by 100%, then decreases by 100%. Find the final amount, okay? So if the final amount increases by 100%, it doubles. If it then decreases by the same amount, it is always back to zero. So let's prove it. Say you have $5 and it increases by 100%. Then you will double it, right, and have $10. If you then decrease it by 100%, you will lose the whole amount, $10. So you'll be back to zero. So I'm just proving it to you. Okay, your homework is on Google Classroom. I will stop my share and I will see you next time. Bye.